as we start to read stuff, getting out of this particular story, then we're going to run into more and more variation in the language because the story is kind of set for school and all that. So when we start reading stuff that's not specifically set for schools, you get the full it's harder, but you get the more of the language as it really is rather than these little lesson pieces. Okay. Now to say I'm dying with the heat, which means it's probably 80 degrees there. Toim as I am, Marav or Maru you'll hear is dead. Okay? Lesh and chas with the heat. Okay? I'm dead with the heat. Literally is what you say in Irish. Time Marav Lesh and chas. Okay? And if you want to say it here, which means it's below 70 or something, then you're dying with the cold here. Okay? So time Marav. And Leshan, like I said, does eclipses. So Fuacht is cold, meaning the coldness. Leshan Wuacht with the cold. And the reason you don't do that with Leshan Chas is that T's and D's don't get eclipses usually when they come after an N. So otherwise you would have Leshan Jas, which is,
that would be interesting.
I guess in Kerry you'd probably hear that. Okay. So time Marav Leshan Chas. Or time Marav Leshan Wuacht.
You just said time Marav, you just told someone that you're dead.
Yeah, I guess I would do that, yeah. Okay? And then, what we're going to do is leave the next one till after break, but we're not taking a break just yet. Someone wouldn't mind putting some water on. What we'll do is I'm going to explain a little bit about the different books I have here. So you can look at them. Okay? I'm going to start over on this corner. They're disarranged for a reason this way. I have a few grammar books here, okay, and I sort of picked out grammar books that you can either use that have explanations in English. Unfortunately, some of the better, unfortunately for a learner, I guess, some of the better grammars that I've seen are actually in Irish. It doesn't help you can't read the grammar. So, as far as books for learning, there are a few things. I didn't really bring everything. Still do like Buntus Kainchi as something to go through if you have the opportunity, just because they go through a lot of material. And there's dialogues and there's tapes and all that. So if you want something to do on your own, it's probably a good one just to get general exposure. If you want more of a grammatical approach, there's two books, Irish, Teach Yourself Irish, and recently they put out a Teach Yourself Irish Grammar. So this covers more of the grammar. So it's a pretty good book, actually. Take a look at this one. Yeah, this one came out, I think, this year, so it's really recent. This one has been out in this edition for a few years maybe. This one has some more conversational context, does do some grammatical explanation more so. This Buntus Kainchi doesn't give you any explanation, you just kind of look at cute pictures. It's worth it for the pictures.
I colored my pictures.
Yeah. Progress in Irish. You can actually find that around here sometimes. I don't think they have it. They might have one down at the Irish shop, I'm not sure. If you ever go to Irish competitions like Feshina, they tend to have this book around. What it is each lesson it's kind of organized like Buntus Kainchi, that they have some examples, and if you kind of look at it, you can kind of guess what it's about. So it's maybe not really a complete beginner book, but it's they give you like a verb paradigms, and then they have exercises. Now, and they have a dictionary in the back. They don't give you the answers to the exercises, but on the website sheet I have, I'll get a new one made up sometime here. There is actually a site that puts the answers to all these, so you can go check yourself. And so it's actually nice little exercises to try doing translations and that kind of stuff if you're into that. And I believe there's some other things that go with this. I'll have to find it and put it in the links, but there is some material. So this is a book that's been used in some courses before. And so some of the schools that teach were using this as one of the texts. Now, if you want a rather more comprehensive grammar, this Learner's Guide to Irish, which is published here, I believe. The author is actually from Berkeley, Donna Wong. But her kind of preface to this, she said that there's another book called Recursa Grammati, which is kind kind of, I think, the best grammar text. It's only in Irish and it's out of print, but it's a really good text. And Christian Brothers have a couple grammars in Irish. She was kind of saying if those books had been put into English, she wouldn't need to write this, but they weren't, so she did. So take a look at this if you want a reference grammar in Irish. There's been a few books put out, these little white things. If you ever go to Donegal and stop by Glencoe and Kill, I think they're all done around that area. But Essential Irish basically covers a lot of different conversational, topical type things and expression types, and gives you examples of them. So it's a nice little book. Nachana Kaincha are like expressions, and so there's covers words and expressions that use those words. Proverbs in Gaelic and idioms in Gaelic. So these are basically, I don't know if you can really read straight through one of those. It's kind of like reading a dictionary, but into reading dictionaries that you've said. Again, this grammar glance card, I think there's a few down at the Irish shop. And definitely a good thing to have as reference. And then there's another one, I don't know if you can get that here, but in Ireland they have that set up for practicing for, someone might turn the water on when it gets boiling, that has things such as myself, my school, my family, and then expressions for conversation type things. So it's a good thing to think about if you want to have conversation. Okay, here's some things to use. And we'll probably be doing some of this as we go on in the class too. Dictionaries. As far as dictionaries you can get around here, Collins and some variety, probably not the school one, that's from Ireland, but Folklore Polka and Oxford are good dictionaries to start off with. If you're going to be reading stuff in Irish, you probably want to get this book, okay? And
What's it called?
it's Folklore Gaelic Barrel. You can come up and look at it and get the numbers on it. You can probably find that used here somewhere. Shipping on is probably not a little bit from Ireland. Folklore Scola is a smaller version of that. That's probably going to be harder to get. There is an English-Irish dictionary, the Walderhus. Not really that useful. I think you can probably find that one of these is a lot better. It's hard to use. I didn't bring the Deneen dictionary, which is in the old script, and I think at this point you're probably not going to be reading stuff that you need that for. But there is an older dictionary which has the old spellings, which you can usually use this if you know how the rules relate between the old and new spellings. You can figure it out. But if you ever need to read stuff in the old stuff, there is a dictionary for that. This Buntus Folklora, and published under various titles. You've probably seen some of the pictures from that on bingo games, but it's 1,000 words topical, so Fuintua in the country and things about like butterflies and rocks and foxes and things. So it's useful vocabulary to learn. Still kind of in the vocabulary and dictionary level. These carte de true Hanan Do are topical word lists, so those might be nice if you want something to work on, just learn vocabulary. Most of these other things you have to get from Ireland by mail order or such, or go there and get them yourself. But Bun Gaeilge, the Hishmachori is Basic Irish for Parents. This is a really good book for conversation. There's tapes that go with it. So if you, as far as phrase books go, it's probably one of the most useful phrase books.
What do you mean for parents?
The conversation is set up for basically for parents of kids going to a Gael school, and it's like how to have conversations with your kids if they know more Irish than you. But it's a lot of things like asking how was the day and those kinds. So it's really basic, useful conversation, and it's probably more useful than any other conversation type phrase book that I've ever seen. This other one, Bun Gaeilge den Shoppa, which is Basic Irish for the shop or for shopping, is it's okay. You can look at it. It's kind of the same series, but it's not really as useful. Okay, the next thing I have here are books that are more reading books.